Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. In our last video, we completed 34 of 70 unique jumps, which landed us right here in the middle of nowhere, Red County. And the subject of this video is the first of 3 Courier missions. So I'll explain what the Courier missions are in just a couple of minutes in this video. But the Courier missions are another kind of lengthy vehicle mission. And recall that if you don't eat or drink anything for 48 in-game hours, which is 48 real-life minutes, then you start to lose fat. And we don't want that. So we're just going to refill our fat supplies. And again, I'm just going to try to show off all the different vending machines in the state of San Andreas. So we're going to go to one we haven't seen here before. This one's going to be in Blueberry, which is just ahead here on the right. And we're going to head to the middle of an apartment complex. And right there, kind of in the middle of no place, is a vending machine, which is perfect for CJ because he is a thirsty boy. All right, so we've seen me drink from vending machines plenty already, so I'm going to fast forward after I take this first one in regular speed. And I used the double speed cheat code twice when I was doing this, kind of sprunk marathon. And then I'm speeding this up in my video editing software 4 times. So this is 16 speed. And at 16 speed, you can just barely see the fat bar moving in the bottom left corner. It is so slow with these drinks. Oh, my goodness. Okay, and then I'm turning off the double speed cheat code twice, and now we are going to skip the lengthy drive over to our favorite gym. So remember, we're in Red County, which is the very far north of this island, and we need to get over to here, Verona Beach, in the far southwest of this island. And I'm going to fast forward through most of my bench press reps here, but I'm going to do 1 rep at 200. And if you recall, when we first came to the gym, I tried 1 rep at 200, and I got nowhere. I was not able to get that bar, the power bar, filled up. And you can see that CJ is getting stronger, right? He was able to do the 1 rep. I failed to do the 2nd rep. I don't know why. I mean, I got the first one. But anyway, we're just going to fast forward through a ton of reps at a much, much lower weight. Like I pointed out in one of the gym videos that we've done, it makes no difference how much weight you lift. The muscle increase is exactly the same, if only it were that way in real life. So while we make our way over to the Roboy Food Mart, I'll explain what Courier is. So there are 3 different stores, restaurants, like that kind of thing in the state of San Andreas where this Courier mission is available. And the one in Los Santos is here at the Roboy Food Mart. Over in San Fierro, it's the Hippie Shopper, and then it's like one of the burger places in Las Venturas. So we're just going to do the Los Santos one today. And the basic premise is you hop on a particular vehicle. There are always 2-wheel vehicles. In this case, here in Los Santos, it's a bicycle, and it's a motorcycle in San Fierro, the freeway specifically. And then in Las Venturas, it's the Faggio, which is kind of more of a scooter. But anyway, call it a motorcycle if you wish. And the premise is once you get on the thing, you get a certain amount of time. In this case, the first round of Courier is going to be 2.5 minutes. And we're going to be given 6 packages. What these packages are is unclear. But if you toss it and then you don't use it, it explodes in like a collection of white powder. So maybe it's cocaine. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm going to save my game here because I always want to show all the fail states. So I'm going to restart this thing a bunch of times, which is why I save it right at the starting mission marker. So you're given 3 minutes. You'll see that in the top right. And we're given 6 items. And in this case, you can see in the mini-map, there's 3 yellow squares. Those are the 3 Coronas. And we need to throw one of these packages through each of those Coronas. And you have more than you need, right? You got 6, and we only need 3. So let's see. The first one is that red kind of ring up here. Now I'm going to intentionally miss. And you saw the kind of white powder spray when you throw it. You do the throw just like a drive-by. And if you bike over the thing, you can pick it back up. You can see I'm back at 6 now. And there you go. That's 1 item dropped off. And it says go get to another drop-off point. So here you have 20 seconds to get back on the bike. I'm going to skip the rest of that 20-second wait. And of course, it's a mission fail. 0 out of 4 runs completed. Delivery run over. So we've seen that if you make an errant throw, you can run over the package and pick it up with your bike. What happens if you make 2 errant throws? So there's the first one. You'll be able to see it there on the ground. And now as soon as I toss the second one, the first one disappears. And as soon as I toss this next one, the second one is going to disappear. And so you can only pick it up as long as you haven't thrown another one after it. And you'll see that, there's 3 Coronas here. So we need to make sure we have 3 packages in order to complete delivery. And it's smart enough to know, no, you don't have enough. We only had 2 at the end there. Okay, one of the fail states according to the wiki is to destroy the bike. I couldn't figure out how to do that. I tried like Molotovs, I tried shooting the bike, nothing worked, but then I was like, oh, the water, I'm just going to drown the bike. And it makes sense that if you dump a car in the water, it would stop working, but it doesn't make sense to say this bike is broken, right? It still works perfectly fine. All right, here you can see in the top right corner, I've let the entire 2.5-minute timer run out. You can see some ball of fools are here to help me do our science experiments in the lab out of time. That's reasonable. And here, I'm going to complete the first round. And you can see we got $1,009 because of the time remaining. And then you get $100 for each package that you're still holding on to. So we got $300 there. And then I didn't go on into the second round, which you can see has 4 yellow squares or triangles, so 4 drop-offs. And so, we've already seen time run out before I finished the first round. But here, we're going to see that we've completed 1 of 4 runs. But that isn't enough to really technically pass the mission. You got to complete all 4 in one shot. So now I'll reload for the final time and we'll see me give my earnest attempt at passing this thing in a vanilla way. So we're going to go through all 4 of the levels. So just to review here, in this first round, there are 3 packages to deliver and you get 3 minutes of time. In the second level, there are 4 packages to deliver and you get 5 minutes given to you. In the third level, there's 5 packages to deliver and again, 5 minutes of time. And in the final level, the 4th level, you get 6 packages to deliver and 10 minutes in order to do it, which honestly is not that generous of a time because the 6 places are pretty spread out across the map of Los Santos. In the first 2 rounds, you get 6 packages given to you, and in the third round, you get 7, and in the fourth round, you get 8. So you get, 3 extra packages in this first round, and then only 2 extra packages in each of the other rounds. So there are 2 rewards related with passing all 4 levels of this thing, and both of them are cash. One of them is cash that you get at the completion of each of the 4 rounds, and you get that cash even if you don't complete all the rounds, right? Like if you complete the first round but fail in the second round, you've still earned the cash that you earned at the end of the first round. And then the other cash reward you get is our first asset becoming completed. This Roboy Food Mart is going to become an asset for us once we finish all 4 of these levels in one continuous session. And what that means is that there will be a spinning dollar sign right out front of the Roboy's Food Mart, and it will gradually increase in value, go from $0 up to a maximum of $2,000. And that gradual increase takes place over the course of an in-game day. So 24 minutes to go from $0 to the maximum of $2,000. You can pick up the money at any point, whether it's, under 2,000 or it's at 2,000 and it just stops there because it's been more than a day. And once you pick up the money, it just goes back to 0 and immediately starts counting up again. So you can earn $2,000 a day by just making a trip over here once a day. We've already talked a bit about assets in a previous video, but just to remind you, there are 10 assets in the game, 10 cash-generating properties, some of which CJ will buy, and others of which CJ will earn through gameplay. So this is the first of the 10 assets for us. There's exactly one other asset here in Los Santos. It's the Johnson house. We haven't earned that one yet. You got to finish a bunch of missions to earn that one. I think maybe Doberman unlocks that one as an asset. But the wiki points out something interesting. After we complete the mission, the Green Saber, the Johnson house is not going to be an asset for us for a while until we pass a bunch of other missions on other parts of the map. But the Roboy Food Mart will still be an asset. It's an asset for us the whole game, even after we complete the Green Saber and get kicked out of Los Santos. Let's talk a bit about the cash that you get at the end of each of the 4 rounds of Courier. So in each round, you are given 2 or 3 extra packages, 2 or 3 packages more than the number of Coronas that you need to deliver to. And for each extra package you still have in your possession, when you go to complete a given round, you get $100. So in the first round, we just saw it get finished. You start with 6 packages, you have to deliver 3 packages. So if you haven't wasted any, then you still have 3 packages left over. And so I was given $300 in the first round because of the 3 extra packages. And in rounds 2, 3, and 4, if you don't waste any packages, you'll have 2 extra packages left over at the end. And so you'll get $200 in each of those 3 rounds. You also get money depending on how much time you have left at the end of a given round. And the wiki doesn't list this explicitly, like what the formula is for calculating how much money you have at the end of a round based on how much time you have remaining. But it's pretty straightforward. I just didn't have to collect that much data to figure out the formula. In round 1, for every second that you have on the clock in terms of your time remaining, you get $10. So if you had 20 seconds left on the clock, you get $10 per second, you get $200 because of those 20 seconds. In the second round, instead of giving you $10 per second that you have left over, you get $20 per second left over. And in the third round, you get $30 for each second left over. And in the fourth round, you guessed it, you get $40 for each second remaining. Occasionally in the top left corner, you'll see that my cycling skill is gradually increasing. It started off at 0, and I'll show it to you at the end of this Courier attempt, and it will be something like 15% full, just looking at that rectangle as it gradually fills up. Cycling skill is just a measure of how far you have ridden on bicycles. It's not a question of how long you've spent, how much time you've spent. You have to be moving, and it's a distance covered kind of thing. So what good is cycling skill? Well, there's a BMX side mission here in Los Santos, which you literally cannot do. You're not allowed to even start the thing unless you have at least 20% cycling skill. Additionally, as you increase your cycling skill, you'll be able to do bunny hops higher, and you'll also not fall off your bike as readily when you get into like little accidents or if you're biking backwards. So cycling skill kind of useful if you plan to spend a bunch of time on bikes here in San Andreas. There is a ton of audio content here in San Andreas. I'm going to guess like a full order of magnitude more audio content in this game than in Vice City. And I'm going to play for you a little snippet from each of the radio stations. And one thing that's really cool about the radio stations here in San Andreas, which is an improvement from those in Vice City, is that sometimes some of the dialogue on the radio stations reflects the events of the progress of the story, right? Like as you complete different missions, things on the map change a little bit, and there's riots and stuff, and sometimes the dialogue on the radio stations reflects that, which is kind of cool that it like keeps track of like current events in terms of CJ progressing the storyline. So I'm going to play for you a snippet at the start of the game. The only places in the game that we're allowed to go without an automatic 4-star unremovable wanted level are Los Santos, right here in the city, and then to the north of us is Red County. And you can't go over, to the San Fierro Badlands area, and you can't go north to Las Venturas or Tierra Robada, Bone County. All of those are off limits until we pass certain missions. And so each of the radio stations makes an announcement about an earthquake that just happened. And that's the explanation for why we are limited here to this first island at the beginning of the game. And so I'm going to play for you a snippet of each of the radio station's announcements about the fact that we can only stay here in Los Santos and Red County. And then I'll play for you the announcement from each radio station that says, hey, now you can go to the Western Island, which is Flint County and other stuff over there. And then there will also be a third announcement, which I'll play for you from each radio station, saying that you can go north. Bone County is now available. So before I start playing all these audio clips, I'm just going to interrupt this Courier attempt for just a minute and show you a map of the state of San Andreas and just make sure we're all on the same page in terms of the names of the areas, because these areas are going to be named in the radio station announcements coming up. In the beginning of the game, Los Santos and Red County are accessible to the player, but Flint County is not. Up here, Bone County is not. And so these announcements are going to acknowledge that the bridges are out between Red County and Flint County at the beginning of the game. You cannot cross from Red to Flint. Then the second batch of announcements is going to say Red and Flint County are now connected. Flint County is open. These bridges are unlocked. And then the third announcement is not going to talk about San Fierro or Tierra Robada. What it's going to say is Red County and Bone County are connected. All of these bridges are going to be open in that last section. Some of the announcements make a mistake and say in the beginning that Los Santos and Red County are not connected, but they are. There's not bridges between these two places. It's open from the beginning of the game. Our first radio station is Bounce FM.
All you traveling out towards Red County, you can't get there because there's a crevice in the ground that looks like a spaceship. Yeah, you got to dance your ass on out there and make the bridge open up. Hey, somebody said they built the bridge and Red County and Flint can get together. One town, y'all, one nation under rule. Red County and Bow County are now together. Where are we at, in the fourth dimensions? All the bridges are open. The Mako Bridge, the Fallis Bridge, and the Martin Bridge is all open, y'all. And the Frederick Bridge. Everything is open. Everybody can cross over, cross-dressing, cross-town. Hey, don't double-cross yourself. Get over there and dance.
Next up, CSR 103.9.
I want to get to you. I want to get to you, girl. But if you're in Red County and I'm in Los Santos, we can't. That earthquake was shaking me up. When are the bridges going to get back, girl? I want to see you so bad. Sing about it. Red County and Flint County are traveling back and forth again, which is great because my tailor lives out there. See what happens when you listen to the station long enough? Everything will be okay. Red County and Bone County, the Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened. That's what an original glue by a guy like me will get you.
Here we have KDST.
All transit between Los Santos and the greater Red County area is still strictly limited following last month's earthquake. Officials are not confident as to when things will open up again. Transport links between Red County and Flint County took a long-awaited turn for the better when the road networks finally reopened following the awful earthquake. Time for some music. Work is finally complete linking Red County and Bone County once more following months of disruptions, trouble, and all that sort of crap. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened. Why didn't you open them earlier, you bozos?
Next up is KJaw.
Ain't no reason to worry. You can't get anywhere anyway. After the big earthquake, transportation between Los Santos and Red County area is cut off. Martial law show, music for fall of Babylon. Burn, Babylon, Babylon, burn. Babylon has fallen. You can now travel between Red County and Flint County easy. Be careful out there on the roads. It's wet. People are crazy out there. It's me again, KJ listeners. It's happened. Red County and Bone County transport is open. The Mako Span, Fellow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened. At last, I can get some audition for soap operas. And some spliff. Oh man, soap opera acting, you know? He wants to be a star, a movie star.
Now we have K-Rose.
Great heavens, that was an earthquake last month. All transit between Los Santos and Red County is still restricted, and the sheriff don't know when it'll reopen. So crack a bottle of whiskey and sit a spell. Take your shoes off. All you truckers out there, roads between Red County and Flint County are back open. And to the trucker riding around with a monkey, that ain't funny. The 80s is over. Hey, what are you doing to that poor monkey in the cab of your truck, sicko? Yee-haw! Work is finally complete. Red County and Bone County are back together after that awful divorce. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and the Frederick Bridge are all reopened.
This is going to be Master Sounds 98.3.
Did you feel that earthquake last month? That was me. I tore up this poor girl who wanted a little man. You cannot get from Los Santos to Red County. The officials say they don't know when it's gonna open. Red County, Flint County are together like leather. The roads are now open. Listen to the master sounds. Don't stop. Oh, yeah, you're the one. Red County and Bone County are up for some action, finally. The Mako Span, Martin Bridge, Frederick Bridge, my pants, Fallow Bridge have all reopened. I bring you the news. You love it. I'm short, but I'm gonna tear you up, girl.
Next is Playback FM.
All right, y'all. Remember the earthquake last month? All transit between Los Santos and the greater Red County area is still limited. All of the bridges have opened. Now, how long did that shit take? Ridiculous. All right, they tell me that work is finally complete. Lincoln, Red County, and Bone County once more. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened at last, I say. Why didn't y'all open them up early, you suckers?
Here we have Radio Los Santos.
Check it out, y'all. It's Julio G, man. All transit between Los Santos and the greater Red County area is still strictly messed up after last month's earthquake. Officials are not confident as to when things are going to open up again, but thank God I pay all that tax, you know what I'm saying? Check it out, y'all. It's Julio G, Radio Los Santos. Glad to say work is finally complete linking Red County and Bone County once more, man, following months of trouble. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and the Frederick Bridge have all been reopened at last. That's what I say, man. Why didn't you open them sooner? I've been waiting. Check it out, y'all. It's Julio G, and I am happy to report that finally, at last, all the bridges have been open, man. How long did this madness take? Took forever, but they're finally all open. So I got to let you know, because that's the way we do it here. We give you the info at Radio Los Santos.
Next, Radio X.
I can't believe I have to read this public service shit. We should have all just died in that earthquake because now you can't go between Los Santos and Red County, and they have no idea when it's going to open, which sucks because I met this really amazing guy over there and he's got safety pins through his genital area. It's brilliant, especially when I bring my magnet. All those lazy construction people who, in fact, are lazier than I am, if that's possible, have finally gotten some work done and they've opened up the transport link between Red County and Flint County. God, I long for another earthquake. Okay, this totally sucks. I was just loving that feeling of being trapped, the no way out kind of thing, but the work is done and Red County and Bone County are back together like an abusive relationship, not dissimilar to the one I just got out of. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened. I just need somebody to bring me some grain alcohol, a Danzig record, and a lighter, because I'm setting myself on fire.
This station is SFUR.
You listen to me. The pigs tell me that transportation between Los Santos and Red County area is off limits because of the earthquake. I hope they declare martial law and the computers rebel. You can now travel between Red County and Flint County, but stay here and OD with me instead. We'll drive to the moon. This comes from the news now, yeah. Workers are done. Red County and Bone County transport is open. The Mako Span, Fallow Bridge, Martin Bridge, and Frederick Bridge have all reopened. This freedom does not feel right to me.
And finally, the news station WCTR.
Now for traffic and transit with Richard Burns.
That's right, Leanne. I'm Richard Burns. The aftermath of the devastating earthquake continues. Travel is still severely restricted statewide. Officials say there are still no reported casualties, which is truly unfortunate as it makes for incredibly boring news. The federal government is still refusing aid to help rebuild bridges, and everyone is blaming each other. The governor is threatening to bomb Australia, despite scientific proof it wasn't their fault. Richard Burns, WCTR.
Bridges linking Red County and Flint County finally reopened recently after long delays following the earthquake. The governor congratulated himself extensively. Now, WCTR Traffic and Transit. After months, all bridges have been reopened. Bone County, Tierra Robada, and Las Venturas County are now linked up with the rest of the state. Locals celebrated by mass outbreaks of xenophobia and inbreeding.
That's it for Courier. If you'd like to share any of your experiences with this side mission, throw them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.